You have to decide what your risk tolerance is. Do you want to be a gangster? And this is where 90% of the B2B marketing strategies fail because we try to reach out to both of these audiences with the same message. So this is the user buyer paradox because now you have to win Sarah's heart and David's brain, and probably at different times. Stop obsessing over ideal customer profile. It does not exist. We spend so much time in marketing trying to find the perfect company. We look for fintech companies with Series D funding, or e-commerce companies with 150 employees, or marketing agencies which are 5 years old. But let me tell you something. Companies don't have credit cards. Companies don't sign contracts. People do. And in the B2B world, the person who wants your product is almost never the person who is allowed to buy it. And if you're treating your target account like a single unified brains, that marketing is just a fiction, to be really honest. And in this video, let me show you why most funnels break at the checkout and how to fix it by marketing to the civil war which is happening within those companies. And for those who don't know me, my name is Sudhanshu Jadon. I've been around in the digital marketing world for more than 16 years. I have worked in multiple countries, lived there, and I have worked with multiple B2B and enterprise clients as well. I post these videos because, well, sharing is caring. So feel free to subscribe. Now coming back to the ICP problem, let's start with the lie we have all been told. The ICP, which stands for Ideal Customer Profile, or in the marketing world we also refer to them as TA, the target audience. We are taught to build B2B or account lists based on the revenue, the headcount, or the industry. We think if we find a company that matches that data, they will probably buy. But this assumes the company has a hive mind. It assumes that if marketing manager wants a new fancy tool with the wipe check, the CFO will just rubber stamp it. And anyone who has been into the B2B industry or has worked with the B2B industry knows that it's a lie. Inside any medium and large company is a messy, political, stressed out group of humans who often disagree with each other. And if you go by the rules of ICP targeting, you will not getting into a deal, you will be getting into a hostage negotiation. To win, you have to understand the two combatants in this war. On the left, you have the user. Let's call her Sarah, the marketing manager. Sarah lives in the problem. She's overworked, she hates manual reporting, and she wants your tool because it gives her the flow. It saves her time, and frankly, it makes her look cool to her peers. Her buying emotion is desire. On the right, you have the buyer. Let's call him David, the CFO or the procurement officer. David lives in the budget. He doesn't care about Sarah's flow. He cares about P&L. He cares about security compliance. He cares not about getting fired for authorizing a bad vendor. And his buying emotion is fear. Now the crux of the problem. Sarah wants to say yes. David is paid to say no. This is where 90% of the B2B marketing strategies fail because we try to reach out to both of these audiences with the same message. And like I said, ICP does not exist. There is no ideal customer. Now think about this. You run a high vibe creative targeting the user, talking about how fun the tool is, and Sarah loves it. She clicks, she signs up, now she becomes a lead. But then she takes this fun brochure to David, the CFO. He looks at it, sees fun, and hears risk because he thinks you're a toy, and he kills the deal. Conversely, if you lead with compliance and ROI, maybe David will like it, but Sarah will probably never click on that. And because she never clicks on it, you never get into the building. So this is the user buyer paradox because now you have to win Sarah's heart and David's brain, and probably at different times. So how do we solve this without doubling our budgets? We use a military strategy called Pincer Movement. You don't attack the middle, you attack the flanks. You need a split strategy where you are radically supporting the user on one channel while simultaneously pacifying the buyer on the other. You stop being one brand to everyone, you become two different things to two different people. Step 1 is the left flank, radicalize the user. This happens top of the funnel, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. Your goal here isn't to sell features, it's to validate pain. If you're selling an agency service, Don't post about your awards. Post about how annoying it is to do the job without you. Make memes about the late nights. Share tactical guides that solve small problems. You want Sarah to look at your content and say, "Oh my god, they get it, they understand my life." This builds Sarah's salience. And by doing this, you are turning this passive user into an internal champion who will try to fight for you when the CFO tries to say no to her. Then the step 2 is right flank. Pacify the buyer. This happens bottom of the funnel. On your pricing page, your retargeting ads, and your sales stack. You need to switch languages. Stop being cool, be boring, be safe. When David, the CFO, checks your website during due diligence, he needs to see enterprise-grade security, SLA guarantees, and cost-saving calculators. He needs to see that hiring you is the least risky option. So by doing this, you are this cool, empathetic friend to Sarah, and for David, you are the safest, boring accountant. But even if you do those two things, there is still a gap. And this is the most actionable advice that I can give you today. You need to realize that Sarah, your champion, is a terrible salesperson internally. She loves your product, but she is terrified of walking into David's office, the CFO, and ask for budget approvals because she doesn't speak CFO. So if you send her a generic PDF and hope that she will somehow be your internal champion, all the best, it will not happen. You need to arm the rebel. Do this. You need to create a specific asset called internal pitch kit. And this is a presentation or a one-pager written by you for Sarah so she can sell it internally and so that it doesn't talk about the cool features. So you send this to Sarah, say something like, "We understand you're busy. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Just take a printout of this and put it on David's desk." And by doing this, you are doing her homework. Now, a lot of you must be thinking that how do I reach this buyer, David, if I only have Sarah's email ID? Now, this is the Trojan Horse strategy. There are 3 ways to do this, ranging from safe to gangster. You have to decide what your risk tolerance is. Do you want to be a gangster? Now, the option 1 is the safe, clean route. On your website or in your app, just put a button that says generate pitch email. When the user clicks it, it uses a mail to link to open their email client with a pre-written persuasive note to their boss. They hit send, the email comes from them, not you. This is high trust and 100% GDPR compliant because you are never touching the data of the buyer. Now the second option is the Intel route, not the company Intel, of course. You ask the user to nominate their team for an audit and ask the decision maker's name. Now listen carefully. You do not add that name to an automated spam list. That is amateur hour. You use that data for sales intelligence. You find them on LinkedIn. You send a manual personal note saying, "Sarah from your team mentioned you are looking to solve X." It's not gangster or the safest strategy. It's in the gray area because you are processing the data, but because you're taking a more manual, personalized approach, it works. And the third option, the gangster option, is viral loop, which creates a network effect. You get a feature and say, "Invite your boss to unlock." When they enter the email, your system auto-fires a sales email to your boss. I'm not a lawyer, but I'll tell you this. This is high risk because you will get spam complaints. You might violate shit ton of privacy laws in Europe, but it is the fastest way to grow if you have the stomach for it. But proceed with caution. To wrap this up, stop looking for the perfect company. It does not exist. You have to look for a frustrated user within that company. Radicalize them with your content, pacify their boss with your logic. And most importantly, give them a weapon they can use to win that argument internally. So if you do that, you stop selling to the logo. You start selling to the human beings who are actually involved, who actually sign the checks. So if this video changed the way you look at the B2B funnel, hit the like button so that it reaches out to more marketers who are stuck targeting the wrong people. And if you want more of these deep dives into the psychology of marketing and strategy, make sure you are subscribed. So I'll see you in our next video. Have a great day. Cheers.